because of this right.
Jaw-dropping knockouts caught on camera, flashy moves, fast hands. What more could you want? In this video, we'll take a look at moments where being fast and/or flashy paid off. From obscure tournaments to bouts with big names involved, there will always be some fun highlights to watch of fast combos, accurate strikes, and brutal stoppages. Taekwondo. More like Taekwondo. You think you should have better defense? That was the low-hanging fruit of martial arts wordplay, but you'd be surprised how low I have my bar set. This clip really highlights how fast Taekwondo practitioners are. The dude in red just stands still, and once he feels the time is right, he lands a jump spinning back kick. All he needed was one shot. Let's take a look at someone else who's known for their fast movement. Vasyl Lomachenko has some of the fastest hands and slickest movements in boxing right now. Seen here is him putting that speed to the test against Linares. Loma, seen here in yellow and blue gloves, does not let his opponent land clean at all. An uppercut seems to hurt Linares, and once Vasily smells blood in the water, he pops off. Shot after shot after shot lands, and Linares is forced to go down. Well, here's my least favorite kick ever. I think axe kicks are dumb, and I'll die on this hill, but even I have to admit that this was pretty cool. The guy in blue fires this kick off from his rear leg and crumbles his opponent like an empty can of Pepsi. Is it a super low percentage kick? Absolutely. However, I think that the fact that this kick is so rare to use effectively makes it so much cooler to see when it actually somehow works. Chris Eubanks Jr. is that guy. When he took on Ivan Jukic, he really showed how good his hands are. He rips shots to his opponent while he's in the corner. This resembles someone hitting a heavy bag after a really bad day, but like with some great technique. His opponent drops, but returns to his feet. Bad move. Jukic returns to his feet only to be planted to the mat again shortly after. Eubanks' hands look pristine here. These two touch kicks in Taekwondo are so awesome. This move rarely happens in MMA because it's hard to pull off given the other variables in a fight, but within this rule set, this technique is a bit more ubiquitous. Here's another example of someone eating the two touch kick and hitting the deck. Usually when a foot is driven to someone's face, that's enough for someone to call it a day. Okay, a spinning kick that nobody saw coming is absolutely amazing to see. Unless, you know, you're the one that was supposed to see it coming, then it sucks. However, I'm watching this from the comfort of my chair, so I can be stoked to watch kicks like this. Despite looking like the momentum was going the other way, our man in the blue belt had a trick up his sleeve. Right when his opponent was within the proper distance, our guy spun and kicked, finding the chin. For those of you that have never boxed, try to throw more than 10 punches and not be tired. It's hard. However, with proper technique, training, and breathing, it gets easier. However, this is enough to exhaust anyone. This flurry is hard to count, but it looks like a 17-punch combination that landed. That's impressive, scary, and flat out makes me insecure for getting tired walking up the stairs earlier. So this is a bit more of a tearjerker than it is a fun highlight. Evander Holyfield stepped back in the ring and took on a late-notice Vitor Belfort. Belfort did some great things in MMA, but was never really known for his boxing prowess, but rather his speed and power. When Belfort, perhaps on the juice, took on Holyfield, he wiped the floor with the legend. Holyfield goes down, but he works his way back up. However, it was apparent from the jump that he shouldn't be in there, and thankfully, the bout was stopped shortly after. Ray Mercer looks like an absolute monster here. This is one of the scariest knockouts and greatest displays of hands I've ever seen. Once Tommy Morrison is pinned into the corner, it was all over. Mercer is looking like how I feel after a few minutes in the DMV. He shuts the lights out and the referee hops in. A bit late, in my opinion, but better late than never, I guess. For those of you that don't know, wearing a bandana in a Taekwondo match immediately brings your skill level up about 2 belts. Need proof? Just watch. Our guy wearing the bandana is able to land a spinning back kick while on the retreat. It's hard enough to land a kick like this moving forward, but it's much harder to do when moving backward. However, he found a way to make it happen. Would he have landed this without the bandana? Definitely not. Ready for some gnarly hand speed? This is a very technical boxing match, but the bet moment was in this round. David Benavidez goes high to low, then back up high. He's not putting power on his shots, but rather he's making them fast and precise. He's able to chip away at that chin of Rogelio and puts him down in what is an insane flurry. Have you liked the video yet? Dare you to do it now if you haven't. Also, drop us a comment. Let us know what knockouts from this list you're liking and which ones you think would fit in this video. Have you recovered from that Holyfield fight? Either way, here's another sad one. Roy Jones Jr. should not have been competing at this age. Can't change what's done though. This was particularly hard to watch for me. Roy Jones Jr. is pressed up against the ropes and eats a right hand. This punch was enough to send the seasoned veteran face first into the canvas, and the fight was immediately called off. Where does Roy Jones Jr. rank in your list of top boxers? Charles Johnson is a flyweight in the UFC now, and one of my personal favorite fighters to watch. What he did in this fight was beat the will to win out of his opponent, which is a hard thing to do to a professional fighter. This stoppage isn't too flashy or fast-paced, but the diversity of attacks and persistence to win is what makes it so fun for me. Do you like the flyweight division in MMA? Who's your favorite 125-pounder? Let us know down below. Here's another one of my favorite fighters before they made it to the UFC. Justin Gaethje put together an undefeated record prior to joining the world leader in mixed martial arts, but above all else, he was, and still is, one of the most exciting fighters ever. Seen here is Gaethje's grueling rematch against Luis Palomino, one of the best fights ever. The two eat each other up badly, but Gaethje was able to close the show with a bomb of a right hand out of nowhere. What's your favorite Justin Gaethje fight? Jose Aldo's undefeated winning streak is one of the most entertaining string of fights one could delve into. One of his most impressive performances was against Cub Swanson, who's a great fighter himself. How does one outfight Cub? Don't let him fight at all. Right when the fight started, Aldo decided that he had somewhere to be, threw a flying knee, and put a stop right when it started. If there's one thing this video selection can tell you about me, it's that I love a good wheel kick. This is in an amateur fight, but the knockout itself should be in a highlight reel full of professionals. What makes it even more impressive is that he landed this kick at such close range. They were practically clenched together, and he still found a way to make this kick work for him. Alfie Davis is one of the best, most underrated strikers that currently fights. His kicking game is top tier, and he's got some nice hands on him too. Here's another example of where an axe kick looks cool, and I eat crow for not liking them. This kick was thrown and executed perfectly. Even had it not landed, Alfie threw a hook just to assure that something worked. However, it wasn't needed. This kick was enough to stop the match. Anderson Silva versus Tito Ortiz. But, in boxing, and done way too late. Here are a couple of big names in MMA that hit the boxing ring. Anderson Silva seemed to be a bit smaller, but nobody doubted that he had the better hands. Well, whoever had money on Silva won a bet, and very quickly. Silva made Ortiz look like he didn't belong within a mile radius of the arena, let alone in the ring with him. I'll never get tired of watching Stephen Thompson kick things and people. Serious poetry in motion when watching this guy. One time he landed a side kick, and I shed an emotional tear just from watching. But really, look, the way he punctuates his combinations with a hard-to-read head kick is phenomenal, and has won him so many fights, including this one. While we're back on the Karate Guys thing, more Raymond Daniels, also a man with a penchant for stunning stoppages. Daniel is seen here extending his deep highlight reel. Hands down nonchalant and in a flow state, Daniels lights his opponent up with a great combination that starts with the hands but ends with a couple of kicks. All of these blows accumulated and put his opponent down. Well, that does it for the video. Again, make sure to leave us a like. We do appreciate it. Subscribe and hit the bell icon to make sure you never miss out on any future videos. Anything you want to see next? Drop a comment and let us know. Thanks again for watching. Until next time.